Rob, do you have the Plague Doctor?
Oh yeah, play the game.
Yep.
I wonder what this play the game is.
Just.
I bet
Oh my
you.
God.
This
Wow.
is like the worst play of the game ever.
No.
But it's just right. He just.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? My name is Vinny Vega, and today I want to talk about the nerfs that just occurred on Overwatch. This is, of course, McCree and Widowmaker. And the Widowmaker kind of surprised me because I knew it was coming, but I didn't think they were going to do it this soon. McCree we all saw coming. It was mainly the fan the hammer that was the problem, because people would just fan the hammer, combat roll, and then fan the hammer once again, and it would just completely shred tanks. So essentially what they did was, they didn't decrease the damage for a single shot, they did decrease the damage per bullet for fan the hammer. So normally before, it was 70 damage for fan the hammer, so they changed the damage from 70 to 45. So this means that it will still be effective against smaller opponents such as Tracer and Genji. However, when it comes to tanks, especially Reinhardt and Roadhog, it will no longer be as effective as it was before. This is definitely a welcome change, and Blizzard really did intend McCree to be more effective against smaller opponents and even medium opponents as well. To kind of balance things out a little bit, they did decrease the time it takes for the cooldown after you unload fan the hammer from 0.75 seconds to 0.3 seconds. That's a drastic change, and it will allow you to, reload and unload more often, but you're probably going to need that, especially when you're 1v1 in a tank, but that's no guarantee for you to win the gunfight, that's for sure. So I think that balances things out more for McCree. And as far as like cooldowns for all of his other abilities, such as the combat roll and the flashbang, there hasn't been any changes to that, and his single shot is still doing the same amount of damage. The gameplay you're watching right now is actually before the nerf. This is something I recorded the last couple weeks. I wanted to get my McCree in before the nerf actually hit, and after the 1 or 2 matches that I've played, it's definitely a little bit harder to take on tanks. Moving on to Widowmaker, she definitely experienced quite a few changes, mainly to her sniper function of her assault rifle. The base damage, which is the body shot damage, got a decrease from 15 to 12, and that's a 10 times multiplier, so 150 damage to 120 damage. This means she'll no longer be able to one-shot Tracer or Zenyatta, for they both have 150 health. Something that may be confusing to some people, it says 2 times to 2.5 times multiplier for the headshot damage. This just simply means that the headshot damage will remain the same, which is at 300 damage. So the headshot damage does not change whatsoever. And as far as her ult was also increased by 10% as far as how long it takes to get there. Her ult was very frequently used during matches, I'm sure you've noticed, and Blizzard felt that it was used too often, so they increased the timer on her ultimate, so it's not just wall hacks all day when Widowmaker's on the scene. In addition to the damage changes to Widowmaker's sniper, the scoping mechanic was also tweaked with. Previously, players would basically quick scope in order to get that full charge up, because if you unscope and scope real quick, the charge up time for that first shot is really fast. Compared to scoping in and remaining scoped in, you have to wait a little bit longer for that charge up to go to full charge. This was a highly abused mechanic, and even pro players were using it as well, basically allowing for situational awareness and able to get that full charge right away, able to spam full charge shots like crazy. And as far as Widowmaker goes, honestly, she's really not that bad as far as the nerf goes. I think it's very welcome change, and I played a couple matches with her since the nerf, and it's really not that bad, honestly. You just have to be a little bit more adamant about getting your headshots. In addition to the nerfs to both Widowmaker and McCree, some bug fixes have been made as well, such as improved stability of high bandwidth for custom games. Some bug fixes have been made to 2 heroes in particular, that being Mercy and Reaper. With Mercy, there was adjustment made to her ultimate gain. Apparently she was gaining ultimate when she was buffing teammates and they were shooting barriers or ice walls. You should only be gaining ultimate if teammates are shooting actual opponents. So this is actually a really good change, and I didn't even know about this, to be honest. This could possibly mean that she won't be reviving as often as she was before. With Reaper, there was an adjustment made to his shadow step. Apparently he was shadow stepping to places he wasn't supposed to on certain maps. So they made it so he can no longer do that. So if your main is Reaper and there's a place that you like to shadow step to that you can no longer get to, well, now you know why. And as far as the maps go, there was an issue on Dorado where there was a collision issue. So they fixed the collision issue where it was blocking some lines of sights. Overall though, I think this is a very good for the first patch notes for Overwatch. And honestly, like, even though it took a month for them to do it, you gotta give Blizzard credit because they're not gonna just make changes without considering all the odds and everything else. They're not gonna just quickly make changes and then have to change something else again, you know what I mean? So this was a really well thought out patch notes, and they went through the steps of how to fix everything, and for everybody who suffered through it, well, here you go. And I think overall Blizzard has done a fantastic job with this game so far, and there's only more good things to come from Blizzard because you know they're going to give full support to this game moving forward. Now I know it's been a month since I posted a video, and I'm really sorry for that because it's just been hectic lately. I recently changed jobs and my schedule is completely out of whack. It's crazy. Like, I'm working like 55-hour weeks right now. So moving forward though, however, I will tighten up my schedule and I should be able to put out a video at least once or twice a week, and I'm going to try to stick to that. Hopefully I can. And for all you guys that have been around since the beginning and also now moving forward and whatnot, appreciate all the support. I plan on doing a streaming PC build coming up in the next video. That should actually be done in the next couple days. And since Battlefield 1 gameplay has actually been shown to us via the live stream that we just seen recently, I definitely want to lay my thoughts out on that. I got so many more ideas, but we'll be here for days if I keep telling you every idea I have for a video. Besides, I don't want to make promises that I can't keep as well. So until next time, I hope you guys have a badass day today, and I'll see ya on the next one.